Oh, what is this? What an absolute hero. Cheers, mate. Number one mummy. We go again. That's becoming our catchphrase now, isn't it? Basically,
Not necessarily the best thing to live by, but
we go again, boys.
Yep. Cheers to this for the brew, I guess.
We've got a fat plate of biscuits as well.
We do. There you are, kid.
Oh, look at the presentation on that.
Jeez, OCD and all that.
Magic. I wish you could all see this. This looks magic. Gives a go on this. So anyway, Daniel.
Yep.
What I would like to discuss today is essentially how sick scooters actually are. I know in the first episode we spoke a bit about, like the reality of things, why it sucks to be cold in a shop, whatever. But I really want to just focus on the idea that, scooters are fucking mint.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a fat biscuit.
This is fucking mint.
Yeah, Mr. Settle.
Holy shit, this is a good way to start. I'm actually happy right now.
Oh, what a biscuit that is.
They're so basic but effective.
They're reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that. Well,
you cannot go wrong. But
prefer them with chocolate, to be honest. But still, nothing wrong with digestive. So, what is it that gets you so buzzing about scooters?
The freedom of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Grew up doing tons of mainstream sports. The normal shit, football, not really rugby, but cricket, tennis, table tennis. Everything, even athletics, and that's sick. It's enjoyable, good to do exercise, and but it always comes with a coach or structure, or some weird format and rules.
Newspaper clippings.
Hey,
everyone should see Danny's
21st birthday present.
Yeah, 21st birthday present. You got this. It's like a
scrapbook.
It's a scrapbook full of newspaper clippings of Danny setting records for Rugby Town Footy Club.
I thought my mum had lost her head initially growing up because obviously every newspaper was being cut up.
Yeah,
and I was like, yo, this is a bit weird.
Like serial killers do. Like when serial killers they're not caught yet, but they're just they're buzzing that people know they are. They have clippings up.
Maybe I can do that when I move out. My room's just full of that. I look like such a big-headed prick.
So what did you even do? I know you did footy. I know you did table tennis. But with table tennis, that was 1 to 100 pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm like that in pretty much every aspect though, because I sweat a lot of stuff just because I enjoy it. But obviously, growing up when I was the youngest, it was football because it's the easiest thing to get into, and that was sick. I was at Rugby Town.
What was your record?
Years, and then hey, you should know it.
51 goals in a season?
52.
Oh, sorry, mate.
52.
Fucking soz.
But it was sick, but obviously it's easy to have the fun sucked out of it when it gets super serious. And I know that's, at the time I wasn't unaware. I was literally like 10, and that's when I was at Coventry, and it was pretty intense, just driving all the time to play football all the time, and then having a contract where my dad would have to sign for me to not be allowed to play for my local team and school team because of injuries and all the commitment, and then I just think it soon feels like a chore and a job, which I get down the line is what they normally lead to, but when you're young you just want to fuck about and have fun, don't you?
So actually why when you started riding scooters did you not become really competitive in scooters? Because everything you did, you were like, oh, table tennis, I'm going to be sick at it. You said you sweat it. Yeah. And you still, to this day, sweat pool, and you think you're fucking world champion, you're not.
After last night, it pretty much was. So.
They fluked a couple, and I put a black on the other one, so not really a real victory.
Here we fucking go. 3-0 boys.
So why did you not become a competitive scooter rider? Why were you just doing I think nose manis and finger whips
all
rather
to do
than
with
flares and contests?
Well, if you've seen my local mate, no one was going upside down for a while. Used to be scrap metal on a cheese grating floor. But
think how high you'd have to go for you to do a flare.
That's just imagine my body Offaxis. Dangerous, mate.
Cause a vacuum.
I'd take kids' jaws from the coping if they stood on the ramp. Fucking hell. But yeah, it's dead weird. I think it was more importantly timing, because when you're in school and shit like that, you're always a bit competitive because you're just surrounded by other bunches of lads, or just, you know what I mean, one of them ones, you're bouncing off everyone, because a lot of stuff back then was team based and you're always with people.
Yeah.
But with a scooter, the timing was when I was pretty much being a dickhead. I was in a shit place, so I would be the sort of kid that would go to the skate park after school to just not be at home, or to just be doing something that was keeping me out of the house. And obviously you'd go on a scooter for half hour and be like, it's dead fun. I was so bored of having intense coaching or just trying to be the best at whatever it was, because obviously the more intense it gets, the less fun it's gonna be.
So basically, you were just kind of over that whole thing.
Yeah.
So not only
I've been doing it since I was
about
about 7.
only over those sports themselves, but you also went to scooters, and then because you'd left that track, you just didn't fancy competing anyway. That's kind of the point of you leaving those.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Ladders.
I literally spent about 10 years doing about, I don't know, copious sports of just fucking, right, here he goes, prodigy kid, let's just get him dead good. And I was always keen to get dead good. And then it went from, oh, this is sick. Like, at the time I was enjoying it, but it just got, for me, so much more of a chore. And every time it would get to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. I was doing it for the sake of trying to be the best or whatever. And with scooters, at that time, I was just a fucking scooter. Like, is it even possible to go anywhere in this industry? Or, do you know what I mean? We was completely unaware. And yeah, like I said, I'd finish like college or whatever, and I could just have a scooter in the car and just ride on the scooter. No one shouting at me if I didn't land a trick. No one giving me some weird guidelines. Do this, do that. Like, fuck the textbook stuff.
Yeah.
It was literally a stress reliever, probably the best way to put it. Rolling around on wheels, doing random shit, and it was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really have that. I didn't have a sense of freedom with it because I never did that much structured stuff in the first place. Like, I was too busy getting run over and doing maths as a kid. So I've never. I mean, obviously the freedom is sick, and you can. But for me, it's more like it. Well, it taught me to travel. That's the kind of freedom I experienced from it. I didn't come out of a system where I was bred. That's why I'm still convinced that I winged the whole process, because I was obviously not a physically talented guy. I was just fucking about, and someone's like, oh, he does nose grabs, cool. But again, like, I wasn't chiseled. I didn't really know about that kind of thing. So I didn't suddenly experience this feeling of like relief of all these like structures and stuff. But I think what's sick about scooters is I think the community has got to be like up there as one of the best things, right? Usually. The community in scooters is fucking sick. You can literally turn your hand to anything in scooters and you'll get so much support just for the fact that you're trying something new or whatever. Like, we probably said it on a previous one, but like, you know how in school you try and learn photography or something, and there's always just those kids that are like, yeah, you've seen his photos, they're shit. And there's just no support for that kind of thing. And in scooters, it's like, I'll post a film photo of someone on Instagram, and everyone's hyped that I've started doing film. The film photo is probably quite shit, but everyone's just kind of stoked that like, oh, that guy's trying something. And even just to be even part of a community in scooters, you kind of automatically have to be a good guy. So you kind of end up only having good guys involved. Yeah,
no, I completely agree with that, and I think it's super tight knit solely because of the shit we dealt with when scooters first started to come around.
Yeah,
obviously we took a lot of grief from what the rollerbladers were dealing with, and then all of a sudden if you went to a skate park, it would feel pretty hostile or shit like that. So if you even seen another scooter ride, you'd be buzzing.
Oh yeah, you just team up basically.
Literally, yeah. So and that's something I really fuck with, because when I started to like meet more riders and stuff like that, you'd see like 1 or 2 scooter riders. Chances are they're dead sound because they're in the same boat, and then you could literally just get on with them. You've already got a similar interest, and then you can start fucking about. And
so basically, you go to a park, you see someone that's a common interest, and you just band together, don't you? Yeah, that kind of thing. I suppose that happens in a few things, but with scooters, it was pretty like, I think that was pretty special because there weren't many scooter riders at that point when you would have started, and same with me. Like, it was actually, for example, you start skateboarding nowadays. You go to a park, there's 20 skateboarders, but it's like, yeah, but they're just skateboarders, like. Whereas back then it was like, holy shit, there's a scooter rider.
That's what I mean, yeah. And so it was it's definitely more special.
And so everybody, just was hyped on each other existing, and that just fundamentally makes it such a good place to be. Yeah. Because pretty much no matter what you do, like we said, you get support for it just because you exist, and and to have survived, to have people that survived through that period of essentially like skate park hate, you have to, 1, really enjoy doing it. And 2, you have to not just be like a trend follower kind of thing. You have to like your character to get through that. If you stick around with scootering through that period, it shows that you're not just in it briefly kind of thing. So it means everyone that is in it now has like weathered that bit, and so obviously he's hyped about it enough. Yeah, for sure. You know, rather than just like kids carrying boards and a Thrasher hoodie around a shopping centre that never touched a rail before or anything. Literally, there was never that with scooters. It was almost a good thing, I think, like a vetting process, that it wasn't a cool thing to do. But that's what definitely makes it a good, strong community, though. Because it's one of them that
the stigma around it has always been negative from like an outside view,
Yeah.
and like what the fuck are they doing? So like, and then once you dive inside the community and realise that we are just normal sound people that just literally like rolling around on wheels doing our own thing, you get to realise like, this is fucking sick. And not that we was ever doing it to prove anything, but it just meant that we all had such similar like outlooks on it.
Yeah.
It just became sick, like dead friendly, to be honest. But yeah,
and also because of that, it stopped. It really didn't matter to anybody inside Scootering that it wasn't cool. In fact, it was kind of exclusive, the fact that it's not a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool now. Like if you consider how Ryan Williams makes it look on Facebook and shit like that. Nowadays, obviously, it's a lot more acceptable. But back then, I almost enjoyed that it was an uncool thing to do. In maybe not like a hipster way, because I was fucking like 14. But like just how, I feel pretty exclusive.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and everyone's like that, and that's why it's fucking sick. And
Definitely.
you can organise like we did with the MK Ride Day thing in summer. Like people just turn up and just jam, and there's no one's arguing with anyone.
Nope.
No one's pissing each other off.
Yep.
Like everyone's there to ride a scooter just as it was when we first picked it up.
Yeah.
And the community is always going to be one of the best
And
things about scooters.
Something I find as well that's dead good about it is very pure in that sense, because when you actually have jams and link ups, like everyone is just fucking gassed to see everyone. And obviously we talk to a lot of people on social media, and then when you actually meet up, it is literally like just another brother or another mate that obviously if you haven't seen him in ages, but when you link up, it's like, it's just fucking sick, man.
Yeah, and I feel like with skateboarding and stuff, for example, let's say there was a big MK skateboarding jam, there'd be guys there that are trying really hard. They've got earphones in. They want to show off that they're good in case it leads somewhere, kind of thing. In case, what if the Death Wish guy's here? What if he sees me? Like, and everyone's there, like, kind of try hard. I fucking love skateboarding. I'm not taking away from that, but because those sports, there's, at least it seems like there's a lot more opportunity in those sports. There's more reason to try hard and stuff. And in scooters, I feel like, especially in the UK, it's just remained almost like just the core scene has just been the same the whole time, kind of thing.
Definitely.
Where you go to a jam, you're not really trying to impress. You just kind of want to do well for your. You kind of want to do some cool tricks. Yeah. And
just be a part of it.
I don't think scooters have ever really lost that at any point.
Nope.
And
definitely not.
Yeah. So the community is fucking sick. I also think what is mad about scooters recently is how, a couple of years ago, there weren't many people that could do more than one discipline, if you want to call it that. It wasn't it wasn't really a park and street divide. So, everyone mentions that, but I don't think that was ever a big thing. It was just like, I'm good at park, I'll just keep doing that, whatever. Yeah. Let's go to a skate park. But then, a few years ago, people like Rich the Linker turned up and was like, I'll just do everything. The French guys are all really good at that. The French guys fucking kill it. I remember like Charles Padel when he went to Scoot Fest.
Good example.
And he was like in the street comp or something, and then goes to the park and just blasts to 540
T-bog, just fucking wild.
And those guys were really sick for that. And it's the same with all of them now. Like even like Didine and Peroni, like they can brew whatever they want. Yeah. And what I think is sick the past couple of years is how there's more and more people doing that. People like Dante can now do everything. Dylan, if you remember seeing Dylan at Scoot Fest, I don't know if were you at Scoot Fest? The one at Rush where Dylan did
Never
the best
been
trick.
Rush.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
Nope.
Oh, mad. Well, yeah, I remember when he first
was it the flare like quad bar?
Yeah. And he was there like ski and everything. Like he was that kind of, as you would say, super park kind of guy. He was obviously quite like, he was fucking sick at it, but he was just like a normal Apex rider hitting quarters and stuff. And then like within a couple of years, you're like, hold on, when did this happen? Because
I get that.
I can't remember the last time I thought Dylan wasn't one of the best in the world. You know what I mean? It just kind of happened so seamlessly, and he just conquered everything he's touched. Yeah. So there's people like Rich, Dylan, Dante, and it's just happened to everybody. Chris Farris is fucking doing it. Like, Rumet's a good one for it as well. I think that's fucking sick. How it's just diversified so much.
Yeah, of course.
And you can just put. There's so many pros now that you could put anywhere in the world, any spot, any skate park, and they would just be brilliant. And that's like, and I think that's good for the sport anyway, rather than having like a park division, a street division, whatever. Yeah.
Bro, it's just we all just ride scooters. Yeah, exactly. It's one of them ones.
I remember there was a thing. Do you remember when Terry did that article in Scoot Mag about doing the feeble to backflip? Yep. Do you remember that? Yep. That's fucking sick.
Mad.
Yeah, he built that ledge thing at Rampworks, didn't he? That's pretty sick. And he said something in that about.
That was not a how-to, was it?
No, it wasn't a how-to.
I was about to say, you
How
daft.
to what? How to feeble to backflip?
That's what he's getting at.
How to feeble backflip. Step 1, have gigantic bollocks. Step 2,
Have purple trousers.
have purple trousers. I think they were actually blue.
Blue.
I feel like they were either teal or purple, let's be honest. It's one of the two for Terry.
Mhm.
Probably still is at this very moment.
Build a fat fucking kicker.
Yeah, build a kicker.
Fat block of wax. Have
Look
ginger
at,
hair.
tell you what you got to do as well. You got to look at the kicker. The kicker's there, like staring. You got to look at it and go, "Do you fucking know who I am? I'm Terry fucking Price, and I'm gonna ride you and fucking
insert
flip off it."
back.
Yeah, and then just hit the fucking thing and end up doing a backflip. Anyway, point is, he said in that article a few years ago, he said something like, "I'm not a street rider or a park rider. I'm a scooter rider."
Jeez.
And it was a
preach.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
We need the soundboard, man.
Yeah, we do need a soundboard. Anyway, so at the time I remember thinking, "Oh, it's pretty bent, like a real inspirational
little
trying to
quote
be,
marks, and little Mahatma Gandhi or
It's one of
something.
the things you'd have on like your wall, like live, laugh,
Mahatma
love.
Price. Yeah.
I'm a scooter rider kind of thing.
I have it on my ceiling, so when I hit the pillow, I'm like, not that gay.
Yeah, but actually, it was a very good point. I mean, I only thought it was a bit bent because I already assumed that was the case anyway, that people just thought they were scooter riders. But then, I mean, it's mad because I used to
such a pointless division, by the way.
It is
because
it doesn't even mean
it's
anything.
like I fucking ride skateparks so much more now because I'm older and I ain't got time to fucking push around a city for 8 hours and put my body on the line. But like, obviously, kids are like, "Oh, it's street god." I'm still at a skate park.
No,
I'm
this
just
is the mad thing.
riding the ledge. Like
I used to make ghetto park promo videos, literally
yeah.
all filmed in a skate park to promote the skate park, and people would comment saying, "Oh, Lewis is so fucking street." It's like, what are you talking
That's
about?
bad logic.
I'm literally in a. The whole point of this video is about being in a skate park,
Yeah.
and people now even consider me that like as a street rider back then, and
Just imagine
like
your bones if you jump a stair set.
anybody to ever
Crump.
point out a video I've made
Yeah.
where it's only street footage. And for the record, I did actually jump a stair set in a video once.
How 4 set, 5 set?
No, actually, I did bar Manny down this like bank thing. Of course, at a skate park though.
Yeah.
To bar down the stairs out of the park. It's like a 9 set.
Fuck off.
Nearly
from
double figures.
Manny.
Yeah.
That's pretty bait.
Absolutely fucking wrecked my ankle. It was horrendous. I got
Fucking
absolutely bollocks.
That's probably what written off your career.
Yeah, no, literally.
That trick alone.
That is part of the reason, like, I stopped doing, like, transition stuff and started doing, like, I'm just going to ride a 3-foot mini forever and get called street on a fucking mini ramp. Even though I can't do backflip combos.
Yeah.
There's nothing street about riding at all. But I think what parkour street used to mean was, does he do flares or not?
Yeah.
That was literally it.
Basically.
And I just, no, of course I fucking didn't.
Yeah.
Not 'cause I always wished I could.
Yeah, that's mad.
In fact, there's a few tricks that I always wished I could do. I always thought flares, nose manis, which again, I don't think people realise that I could never actually do.
Okay, I made you try it further, but that time.
Yeah, do you remember how shit that was?
Fuck me.
Yeah, that's as good as it ever got, mate.
Yeah,
It's
that's
mad.
bad.
Yeah, because you know that you learn. In fact, probably not for you because you're a little sweaty fucking athlete. But
Here we
like, I'd sweat nose manis for a bit, and I'd get him over this mani pad. This whole mani pad, probably like fucking this long.
Top of the fun box, definitely.
Yeah.
It was a nose bunk.
No, it's on a mani
It's
pad.
a mani pad. It's legit. Film it.
Yeah. And I'd get him, and I'd go in like, I'll finally fucking get in, and this is sick.
Yeah. Would you
Feel
also
like
go
I got
rapid?
right? No, I didn't do the Lewis Williams way.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if.
That's what Fez used to do. It was like I'd set like a nose mani at Fev's curve, and then he would just like start at the top of the skate park, run next to a scooter, fat fucking hop into like a nose bunk. It was bait.
Yeah, Lewis did him at first. I mean, Lewis is sick at nose manis and always was since. But I remember when we were first trying and whatever, he would do that.
Yeah, just rapid.
There'd be a long mani pad, and he'd just basically hop the whole thing and just nose bonk it. But anyway, everyone does that at some point. But no, I was convinced I was going to get him properly because I was riding with Brandon all the time, and it was pissing me off that like I just couldn't do him, and everyone in the world could nose mani, and I couldn't. I couldn't even do hang fives. So anyway, I'd do nose manis on like a little mani pad, go home pretty satisfied with myself, go back the next day, square one. And I'd be like, you're taking the piss. 3 hours again, I got nose manis again, alright, sick. I got the method down now. Next day, go back, lost them again. And I'm like, you know what, fuck this. Like, I'm just not born to... I don't know what it was, I just wasn't born to nose mani.
Boring, innit?
That would be sick. Front scooter flips.
Yep.
And
I've done one in my life.
Did you?
Yeah, landed switch, and I was like, I don't want to continue landing switch because...
Why don't you just put your feet either way then?
Oh, if it's that fucking easy... I tried. It was horrible. The same as...
Is it heel side one?
So
you take off and you do it back.
Stand
heel
goofy, and the way I inward would be the normal way with my right shoulder, and basically I would do the inward motion. Obviously, as soon as it got to the highest point, when my hand come off, my body turned.
Yeah.
My hips also did
don't
a
know if you-
Shakira. I
It's not
landed
even a front
switch.
scoot, I don't reckon.
Are you daft? Front scoot with one hand.
Yeah, but you're meant to do them in front of you. That's the front scoot way.
Oh, like Raymond, where it's proper
Yeah.
exaggerated.
And John Radke, all the guys that invented them.
Nah, have you? It's not Featherbed's old metal kicker.
Because I remember there's a thing on SR a few years ago.
No,
I say
this
a few
was a
years
front
ago.
scooter flip, alright? I'm not even going to argue this. I done a fucking front
But
scooter.
anyway,
It just didn't look that great.
The discussion
Landed
was,
switch.
there's two different front bries. There's a front bri flip, and there's an inward front bri flip,
Here we go.
and a front scoot and inward front scoot. And I don't know, I never fucking understood it because I couldn't even do any of them, so it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But like, as far as I know, front scoots, because when people do front scoots, they just do an inward and then take a hand off.
Yeah.
It's
me.
And yeah, so anyway, there's some science in it. I've always seen front scoots as in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
as the Raymond way,
Yeah.
the John Radke way, the Cody way, Terry way.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Whatever.
So you probably
Me.
faked it, mate.
No, I've got the clip
Yeah.
backed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I want to see it after this.
Yeah, I fucking got it, alright.
And
I'll provide the
and I'll
goods.
piss on it.
Yeah, of course you fucking will.
But yeah, so
Christ.
anyway, that's sick about scoot. I know
You
that
ain't
was
got the fucking muscles to do an image.
Oh, fucking grow up. Can we go back to the point, which was I digressed from?
Yep.
That yeah, Skew's just fucking mint, and there's so many more like rounded riders nowadays. You can go to a
Yep.
comp and you can put people at head to head in all three comps, like at Scoot Fest or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you can say, I don't know, it's just way more three-dimensional
Yep.
nowadays compared to what it used to be. They used
Mhm.
to, what a point being, you used to have like a park comp or a street jam kind
Yep.
of thing, and now you can easily do both in one comp because you've got guys that can just perform on all levels,
Yeah.
and that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
Like those guys
definitely.
are so good to watch.
Yep.
I miss Rumet Salik. He was always a hero.
Big time, yeah, but he's sick on a BMX, so he's doing his thing.
Yeah. So what else then? What else gets you buzzing about scoots?
The fact that it's still very new and fresh because it's early days, there wasn't much to go from, and when we started there wasn't much happening, so I felt like it just opened up a lot of doors for anyone and everyone that was a part of it. Literally as simple as like photography, videography, all
Yeah.
these things. Like obviously a lot of us love skateboarding or like BMXing, so we may have some knowledge of what can be done or what's happening, but
Yeah.
at that point, if you had a DSLR or something and was taking pretty sick photos, there's a strong chance you'd get recognised for it and people would be
Mhm.
buzzing because we'd all seen Thrasher and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I think that was always a good thing because everyone was so welcoming to like, oh shit, this guy's trying to do his thing,
Yeah.
or he's trying to do
Yeah,
bits,
exactly.
and I think that was dead good. And like we said before about the support, regardless of what it is you're trying to do or achieve, people would be hyped because you was just on a scooter.
Yeah. And also there's the thing, this is a fucking other subject change. You know, Iceland, the country.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's sick about that country is how since it was discovered in the 9th century, about 1100, 1200 years ago, because it was discovered so recently, they've got all the records of everything that's ever happened in that country,
Yeah.
right? So they can literally trace back their entire history of that country, and it's sick because
Mad.
obviously if England is thousands of years old or well, I mean that's not true, but anyway,
Mhm.
older places, a lot of records get lost in fires and all that shit. But with Iceland, it's sick because you can literally go back to the whole history and go, "Oh, what happened on 895 AD? Like,
Yeah.
what's gone on?" You could see the guy who was in charge. It's all so there. And the thing I
Yeah.
think about scooters, to get back to the point, is we have that in scooters as well.
Yep.
There's still people involved in scooters now that were there from the very beginning.
Mhm.
And it's basically because it's so new, well, not new, but like 20 years is pretty old now.
Yeah.
But like because it's all happened in these 20 years, pretty much everything's on record. Like
Yeah.
even like the oldest possible videos in scooters, we still have them.
Yeah.
They're
for sure.
not lost in like on a tape. They're all on the internet.
Yeah.
If this
true.
20-year period was from the 60s to the 80s, you'd have lost all of it by now because there'd be
Yeah.
a handful of guys with the DVD that had it, and that's it.
Mhm.
But because it's come of age in like the technology era,
Yeah.
we can go back at any point and we can watch videos from 2001,
Yeah.
03, whatever, and having people like Cody or Helmery or
Yeah,
Dan
Terry
Barrett,
and all
Terry,
that, yeah.
fucking so many people that have been involved from day one
True.
that are still about.
Yeah.
And it's all so well documented as a sport.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. And it's also that they're the sort of guys, they're like the pioneers of the sport, and that all happened by chance because of it being so new. And obviously for them to still be sticking around, strong chance that they're sticking around because they have influenced thousands of people, but they're also doing something that's having a good impact on scooters, e.g. setting up brands or magazines, or, stuff like that.
You've got people like Ryan Upchurch, who's done everything.
Literally, yeah.
He's dabbled in everything. Dan Barrett, who's worked for distributions, he worked for Phoenix,
had his brands,
with
Rogue.
Helmery, who's become a distributor and a shop owner. Just loads of shit. Like there's people who've stayed within scooters, largely anyway. I mean, obviously a lot of people had to grow up, so to speak, and they put the scoot down to get a full-time job, etc. But a lot of people from that period have actually stayed involved, and that's sick. Yeah. And so you can literally go, Cody, what was life like in 2002? And you can just tell your first person because he was there. Whereas in skateboards, for instance, it's a bit grim, but some of the guys from the other days might be dead now in a way because it's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, potentially.
I know that's a bit grim to say, but like, where everyone's in it and like they're still involved, and there's a lot of people that have experienced it firsthand, and aren't hard to track down. And if you want to look at the comp results from something in 2003, you can just find them. I know. There's so many missing events and missing people from the early times of, let's say, rollerblading or surfing, maybe like. And I think that's sick about scooters. It's cool. It's cool to have the opportunity to explore all of its history in one. And also with scooters, people like Helmer and Cody have ridden since like 99. It's actually kind of impossible for anyone to have ridden before that. It's not like there was a guy in 1995 doing stuff, for instance, like, and it's kind of cool to have such a clear-cut period where you go, well, scooters kind of started in 99, and here we are.
Mad. I was 6. Man was 6.
And you didn't start till you were 17? Was 17?
Yeah, 17.
Late bloomer.
Yep.
That's fat. And another thing I think is sick about scooters is how there are more and more people getting older and still riding. Because I remember when I was maybe like 14 or something, and I'd be at the park and people would be like, oh, so do people do backflips on scooters? And I'd be like, oh yeah, look, here's Terry or Martin or somebody, like show them a clip, and they're like, oh, how old are those guys? And I was like, oh, probably like 18. And obviously the skaters and stuff were like, oh, you're not going to ride a scooter when you're 18, are you? And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe not. Like, back then it's like an old thing. But then like all those guys kind of just kept on going. So as the sport's getting older, like the demographic of like the pros at least is shifting a bit more. And you've got more and more people that like Terry, he didn't stop aging and quit. Like he's still involved.
But that's what I think's important as a whole, is it doesn't matter if like Terry doesn't compete anymore. That was a long time ago. He's not necessarily trying to get worldies all the time, but he's still dead good on a scooter. He's still relevant, and that's because he has the most fun on a scooter. Doesn't matter what anyone's doing. You need a hobby. It's important. It's important for your head. It's important just to stay active and do exercise. And like, that's another thing. I'd never cap when I stop something, and most of the stuff I've done I've just come out of when it's just got either too serious or stressful or just not fun. But like, until I physically can't ride a scooter, I'm going to keep going, because like I said, I'm not asked about learning the current tricks that everyone's doing or trying to be better than anyone. You literally have days where you just want to roll around. I've probably gone to featherbed like countless times and done about 3 tricks and felt better for it than just sat here fucking playing my fucking thumbs. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
and I think that's an attitude that a lot of riders have, and that's what I mean. It's fucking sick. Like people, I don't know, pros that have, let's say you get to 22 years old, you've got a full-time sponsorship, you just ride and having fun, whatever, and then eventually that opportunity stops. People don't then just pack it in. In general, like those guys have mentioned a million times, they just still find time to ride in the week. And they because it's such like an investment, they've been such a big part of it.
And if you want to do it, you'll make time for it.
And it just, anyway, so people getting older, the reason I think it's so sick is because it kind of demonstrates to kids that it's not just a short-term thing. Like, all right, cool, you might have got to 18 years old and not been world champion yet, but like that's not it. Like, there's still so many years in it. You could blossom at 26.
And on that note, I got ID'd yesterday at 26.
Did you? Oh, you did.
And you? We both did. 26 and 25.
I only got ID'd
so I had baby face. She wanted the beat.
Oh, shut up.
I'm joking.
Fucking fat idiot.
But basically,
I knew you had to slip something in there about a bird.
Jeez.
You
So
fucking lost your head, mate.
long time ago. But yeah, it's just important, innit, to stay active, and if you enjoy it, keep doing it, and if you can get any of the little perks and benefits that come with it, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just sick to show kids that, yeah, like, just keep riding. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Like, it's not
that's
just
why
about winning and quitting.
even coaching, mate, is like, you've done it as well. It is actually dead rewarding. I actually do sometimes feel like a dad or some shit, because some of the kids are so young, but like, I remember how gassed I was jumping into a quarter pipe. I'm fucking still gassed now because I'm shit at quarters.
Do you know what like, I told someone the other day? Sorry, this is completely like, fucking such a chick. We're good at this, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, you are.
It was on a foam pit, and I said that, like, people like you have never actually injured themselves, like, seriously, but the one time you fucking did was in a foam pit, because you're so long.
That was fucking so boring.
You just fucking went straight down.
It's not that
through the foam.
It was not that I was so long. It was that the foam fucking pit was made for babies, mate. It was about 2 foot deep.
You say it's not about you being long, but I didn't fucking have that issue, mate. No one else did. It's just you, mate.
Fucking so dark that was.
So what was that? Was that EK?
EK, mate, in Scotland with a scoot mag, and
that was a fat trip.
It was a sick trip, but that fucking foam pit was shallow. I weren't the only one to say it. I was the only one that had to get dragged out of a rope because.
Do you remember what tricks I was doing into it?
Probably a fucking X-Uff or something.
Fucking grow up.
What was you doing?
No, I thought you was there for the sesh.
Come on.
I was doing fucking fronty whip bars.
Oh yeah,
I was getting them down.
Never fucking landed one, just a foam. But I basically plummeted to the bottom on my ankle. Fucking trapped in a foam pit. It was shit. I was drowning in foam. Got dragged out by a rope and then spent the rest of that fucking tour on crutches, peeling off them sick vinyl Scoot Mag stickers that no kid could understand how to do.
Yeah, they were pretty like tech though.
If you're a fucking potato, come on.
Yeah,
you just peel one side and then finesse it.
Yeah, I know how to fucking do it.
Obviously, it was a little less, like, it was, yeah, alright, whatever. It was a bit more difficult.
That was the trip. I ate shit at that park in the south. You know, Dante's local.
Eastbourne.
That orange. Yeah, it is, the orange one, where I fucking face planted.
Oh,
my tooth went through my lip.
Fucking, yeah, it was.
I got that minging picture on my profile picture.
How did you do that again? Just being a fucking clumsy idiot.
Dan, my face hit the fucking floor. That's what happened, right?
Fucking hell.
And then I remember when I was eating a Big Mac that
over
day.
His pegs.
In fact, you remember when everyone would just fucking ate fast food on scooter trip? Literally, everyone would get gassed. Just, oh yeah, let's go on scooter for like 2 weeks. And
the diet that your body would allow when you're 18.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Yeah, and I remember I was eating like a Big Mac and I had this hole in my lip, and it like, as I was like chewing, it would get like
blowing a little whistle. I was getting stuck.
Get, like stuck in my thing. I had to pull it out.
Oh, that makes you feel a bit sick.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
How are you going to tell me he's like whistling every time he was chomping?
It's one of two other face plants for me.
That sucks. I've only done it once.
That was one where I fucking hit the floor and then like just like felt my teeth were in place and I was pretty hyped.
Great.
That's the worst thing ever. I don't want my teeth.
Yeah, I actually had a lucky face plant, if that exists, and it was just so fucking stupid. It's like boardroom. You know, everyone used to just hop that red barrier out the bank.
Yeah.
And I'd done a trick on the ledge going down it, and when I 180'd on the quarter pipe, I was going bare slow, but I was like, fuck, look at the size of a man's legs, I'm going to hop it anyway. It's not normally an issue, just didn't make it. Cased and went down, and I just remember like spitting a bit of blood. Luckily it sound, because hard as fuck, but...
Still talking about this long late, mate. I don't think you've got over it. I don't think you are that hard.
Oh, I fucking struggled to sleep some nights. No, it weren't too bad, but...
Yeah, the other one was that... Did you remember that one that was RKO in Germany?
Brutal, that.
That was pretty sick though, because
it always happens with dumb shit.
Well, yeah. So this is the thing. So that comp, we turned up. It's Coburg in Germany, and it was like 38 or 40 degrees. It was just painfully hot, and it was so humid.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I was a guy who was too hard to ride helmets.
Yep.
So I was like, no, I don't want to ride a helmet. No, you have to do it in the comp. I was like, it's bollocks. I'm not. You've seen how fucking hot it is.
Mm-hmm.
I need this breeze to my scalp just to even move. Or do more than one trick. And then eventually, I had to wear helmets. I was like, oh, fucking fine.
Mm-hmm.
After explaining to them that I'm only doing manuals anyway, and fucking like an ice pick or a toothpick, like I can't possibly hurt myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, eventually gave in because I wanted to ride the comp and win. Ended up doing a toothpick in my run as like a setup trick, and then just decked it.
Picked your tooth after.
Yeah, literally. I don't even know what happened. It was more like I was just like in a tooth, and because I was looking at the next trick, I just kind of went in and just like just did that.
That's mad.
And we're going to flat. And anyway, and like that helmet was really useful on a trick that I would always preach was never useful. Like having a helmet for.
There you go. And even do you remember when we was doing Born Extreme little demo at that random leisure centre skate park, and Rob went to hop up the ledge, just fucking cased his front wheel, and his tooth just pinged off.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I did
It was with
Lewis Williams, probably.
Lewis Williams, Terry, Sam Everett, Dan Avery. Yeah, it was. Oh no, I don't think. Yeah, it was the MGP lot and Scoot Mag. It was like a little collab, and it fucking sucks, doesn't it? It's just always
grim.
dumb shit. But anyway, yeah,
it's grim. But anyway, to bring it back to the original question of why scooters are so fucking sick, I think those memories, just shit like that. I know, like in general, people have, whether they're a footy player or a skateboarder or anything, have memories, whatever. But like, it was such a strong, like you said earlier, like almost like a brotherhood on those trips.
100%. Everything was just so organic, wasn't it? And
walk into Sam Everett's house or Dan Avery or fucking anybody and just carry on like we were normal.
Yeah, that's another thing actually.
Such a sick bond.
I wanted to mention, and I've said it in so many conversations regarding the industry and community as a whole, is I could be like, right, fuck this, bored of where I'm living, let's just go somewhere for a few weeks, and you could just ping off a fucking message or put something on social media and you would have a place to stop at, because everyone's so welcoming and just gassed that you want to see their country or experience their culture, and that's the thing that I don't think would exist in many other sports or activities and stuff like that. And I've never obviously that's something we'd always be appreciative of, but I think of how many times we've just gone overseas and like been like, oh shit, I need a place to crash, and you just sleep in like on the floor of someone's room, or they'll put you up, and I think that's fucking sick.
Yeah, and how really like especially amongst the pros, that's a thing. I think that's quite a special thing. Like you can, I don't know specifics, but let's say Dylan Morris wants to go to America, like he'll just be any kind of pro, again, whether it's a street or park, whatever you want to classify, and whatever it is, people are just stoked to have each other.
That's what I mean.
And you end up session, even at the top level where people are taking it so-called a bit more seriously or something, like they don't fucking care, they just want to go ride scooters still. And even the top guys are still so focused on just doing that. And it's just, in general, it's no matter how good people have got or how big scooters have got or how big the event is that's coming up, everyone's still just around to jam with one another. Like you saw at Action Space, that especially Invitational, that event, like that was such a communal thing, and everyone was just jamming with each other. Nobody was there with earphones in, like, no, I want to win.
And you know what was surprising but also dead good to see was the when we had the Freecross meal and free bar, and to see riders actually make the effort to just like, obviously I'm not saying no one was like forced to like present themselves, but like everyone just knew that this is sick, like I'm going to dress a bit smarter, it's a good chance to actually socialise and not just ping off Snapchats and DMs, and like I thought that was just fucking sick.
And it's probably because everyone's kind of grown up together in it, like everyone's kind of come up at the same time, because it's been such a short span of progression in the sport. I mean, the progression is ridiculous now, as we've said a million times, but like the past 10 years everyone's kind of been around each other the whole time at various comps, so like everyone's just kind of mates. And that makes such a nice community just to be a part of. That's like you can be in a room with the best riders in the world. You can be sat there with Rich, Chris, Dylan, like whoever, and have just as much fun as when you were 17. I was like 12 and sat in a room with fucking Graham Kimball or something. Whatever. Like it's always stayed like that. No one's ever taken it too seriously. I've never had, a dick.
Because you would be in, like, if it's football, you'd be in change rooms with your boys, and obviously you're against like a whole other team of opponents, so it's almost like they're the fucking enemies for now, or fuck these guys, we're gonna batter them. And no one was ever really a sore loser, and everyone shake hands and shit like that. But like after that, you go back to your same team, the same coaches, and like you don't really expand on that. Whereas with this, like you said, we've been in situations where before a competition where the best riders in the world are actually competing for fucking big money, and just generally like they're just fucking about literally minutes before throwing fucking banana skins at each other, and just like I think that's sick. Like everything's so much more mellow and laid back, and that's what I like about it.
The camaraderie is mad, and it goes for the people behind the scenes too. Like all the brand owners know each other. The organisers know the riders personally now. Like the brand owners chat to one another. They're not like, fuck this guy, I want to outsell him. They'll just talk about how things are, and
if anything, they're buzzing to see you make the effort, and that's why, like for me, I'm a big fan of when companies collab and exclusive and stuff like that. Something I've always wanted to incorporate myself. But like, you're right. You don't go to an event and you see like that brand over there, like keeping their head down, that brand over there, like trying to get fucking generate stuff like that. Stuff. I mean, and even if that does happen, like, which I don't think it does, then they're probably not even in it for the right reasons, and will just eventually fade because it would come up. Do you know what I mean? People would find out. But like, everyone is buzzing on one another 9 times out of 10, and yeah, we're in an industry that's super fucking niche anyway, so we need support. Like, we don't ask for it, we don't beg for it, but like, it's just there, isn't it? It's in the air. Even the parents, we've met tons of sound fucking parents that are just buzzing that their kids found something to do, so they're not fucking stabbing people and being dicks. Like, they've literally found a whole fucking niche of just people that are like, we're just little weird creatives, I think, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, we chose to do something that was not even considered cool, so there's already a bit of respect.
And yeah, with the kids and parents thing, because all the pros have kind of come up again, started from the bottom, now we're here kind of thing. Everyone's been that scooter kid, and those guys know what that transition's like. Yeah, no one really set out just to be the best in the world, really. Like, everyone's kind of had fun and then it ended up going well, so they really appreciate that. So when they do see a kid at a park or a parent and they're stoked to meet Dylan, Juzzy, whoever, like, everyone knows how to act just automatically. No one's like, get away from me, you don't know who I am. And especially now in scooters, we've got such a good network. We've got so many people who are at the top of the game and not dicks and doing other things. People are doing coaching. Other people have ended up like being team manager, a bit like we did. Like, people have kind of got into various places, and the people behind the scenes are putting on events at a loss, but just because it's going to be sick to put it on. So you've got the guys who have got good intentions behind the scenes. You've got the people on the scooters who can make the difference. Then you've got the other people who have been riders or still are riders that can produce that content and make it all look super fucking sick. And just the network that scooters have ended up with nowadays is so fucking sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's just it's such a complete thing. And there's so many reliable people that you can go, I want to put on an event. Now I know we can do these guys actually. Like,
and with these sort of companies that are putting on massive events and it being a good platform, I think that's super important, and another reason why it's dead good, because we can actually now host these in Europe's biggest skate park and some of the best skate parks across the world, and it's fucking progressed massively for all them reasons, basically.
It's such a good time in it to be a scooter rider.
Yeah, it really is.
Involved in any capacity.
Yeah, and like, I'm not even one of the, I'm not even the sort of guy that's like, I wish I was like 18 now, because I really fucking don't. Like, we've literally seen it grow from the very early days of absolutely buzzing to get an MSN message from a pro, or like to see any article online or magazine, to like everything at like, we just got an iPhone where we can consume loads of information. We can go to a skate park, and now we're almost the majority, so you don't have to worry about trying to find, like, you can literally bump into anyone. They're probably going to be dead sound. Obviously sometimes you get dickheads, but they come and go. But as a whole,
rare. And
that's what I mean.
They even get like, they get not like they get like weeded out, basically.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if someone is a dick, everyone's just like, don't be a prick, and they're like, either all right, I won't, and they just get ironed out that way, or they just leave it because they're just not like, because there's so many good people. There's no reason to put up with the dickheads. Just don't have any dickheads.
And that's the thing. I've gone to skate parks, and I'm not even a massive fan of like busy skate parks, especially because skate park anxiety is 100% gotta be a thing. And that's not down to like people's opinions and shit, because I'm aware that I'm fucking old and don't look like a scooter rider, but like, I've been with skaters who I grew up with that have gone to other skate parks and really not enjoyed the atmosphere because it's felt hostile, and and like, I've never had that when going to a skate park where there's a lot of scooter riders, because that's what I mean. It's just like, they're gonna be sound, because obviously some of them might be 10 years old and doing random shit, but like, I know for a while, and again, like I said, we do love all the other sports. Fucking, if anything, I'll probably watch more skate edits than I would scooter videos, but like, there's just so much more open arms in this industry because of the shit that we dealt with when it was basically blowing up. So I just think, all of that together has created something fucking special.
And to go back to the thing you said about you don't wish you were 18 now, I'm also the same. Like, I'm so fucking grateful that I ended up in scooters at exactly the time that I did. Like, it's so sick that like everything kind of accidentally happened for me, kind of thing. Like, just as I was considering fading out of riding a bit, I got approached to be district TM. That just happened. And then, and even just earlier, like, whenever I got on district for the first time, and I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And it leveled up every time, and I was just so grateful every time something happened. And if I'd come into scooters 10 years later, let's say I just started riding now while it's like popping off or whatever, like, it would just be different. I feel like the path that I've ended up on because of scooters is probably like the best possible path that I could imagine. Because, and again, if you imagine not being involved in scooters at all, what the fuck would we be doing now?
That's the thing. I'm such a deep thinker anyway, and when I first started, I would just naturally compare to other stuff, and obviously be like, "Fucking hell, like, I'm a dickhead." If I was like, I was playing with Cyrus Christie, like literally at Fulham and fucking Ireland, and like, obviously, my mum and dad or like just family friends would joke like, "Oh, do you not like wish you're still playing football and all this?" No, I fucking don't. I came out of it for that reason, and this has led to so much more. And like, we're sound because we're not asked about money, so as long as we enjoy what we do, we're going to put in 110%. Which is exactly what we've done, and we've done it at the right time. Personally, it all felt so natural, and now I don't compare shit, because if I was still playing football wherever that would have taken me, like, I'd be a completely different person anyway. Like, I'm probably still pretty unhappy because it became a bit of a chore, but it's all felt very natural. And
secondly, if I was still competing now, I'd have no fucking chance.
No,
the incredible ability. I don't know how it keeps stepping up.
Yeah,
but it does.
Pretty daft, actually. It's hard to fucking judge.
One year, the best trick of an event will be someone's starting trick. Still, it just keeps going through the fucking roof.
Yep.
And
I think this is a whole new topic. I mean, a whole new discussion.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that warrants another brew before we start that one. But yeah, overall, it's such a fucking good time to be part of scooters. Yep. I know that there are hiccups, a very long 2-year hiccup in sales and all that kind of thing, but it's
save that one for a fat fucking, not even a brew, mate, a fat tinny and a few shots,
a tinny, a massage and a therapy session for that one.
Counselling, please.
But in general, and it's just so good to be part of scooters, no matter what level you're on. If you're a brand owner, of course financially it sucks, but it's still a good thing to be part of. You've got the event organisers are able to put on better events now than they used to be able to, and everybody else who's not part of that gets to go and watch the best scooter ride that's ever happened with the best personalities. And just overall, it's such a full, like, thoroughly brilliant scene to be a part of.
Advice, if you wanted to start or do ride, don't be a dick. Always have fun and just dabble with other shit inside it, because there is so much more than just riding a scooter now, and so many more opportunities, in the sense that I'm not as good as my mate who's fucking learning dead quick and super active. Fucking grab a camera and film him or take photos and just, do you know what I mean? That's like the stuff we've done, like, again, all naturally, all by chance, winged it lots, but like, it's helped us loads, because you've come out of riding, but you're still super heavily involved behind the scenes. Not everyone knows that, not everyone needs to know that, but your input is very much effective, and you're the reason that events are still happening today and as good as they are. And then I'm the rider that still has sponsors, but my input isn't just being a scooter rider, because I've always just done weird shit anyway. I don't compete, I'm just a bit average in that sense, but I've always gave more value in the sense that help with production and just like digital design work, or like ideas, and they're the things that people I think do forget about, because they grow up like being inspired by world champ and wanting to win and all. They just need to go with the flow, fuck around with a few things, just be dead sound, because everyone as a whole is pretty sound, and have fun with it, basically. And
just enjoy the whole thing and just watching it grow. Don't be like too worried about like chasing what's happened. Just be a part of it in whatever you can, like whether you are that, if you don't like riding that much, you just film your mates, Insta clips, whatever. Just be a part of fucking scooters, because scooters are just sick. And it's important to remember those things when you look at a sales sheet and it's like, what are we doing this for? And that leaves your head half a second later, because you're like, you know what, fuck that, because look at that trip, or look at this comp or whatever, and it's brilliant. So to draw a line under it, what is so fucking sick about scooters is everything.
Yeah,
it's
it
brilliant.
Really is.
It's fucking brilliant.
Solid community, fucking just stunts, ride, rave every now and again. Don't be a dick. And last biscuit, do you want it?
No, it's all yours, mate. And I'm after another brew though.
Yep, I'll get the kettle on, kid.
Yeah, so that's about that. That's gone well, hasn't it?
It's like rock hard, because how fucking cold it's got.
It is nippy, isn't it?
I've got dry mouth.
Alright, I'm out.
Peace.
See you in a bit, boys.
Safe.